listed on the stock exchange, but the value of K-culture to the moon.
Coffee break. Today's tidbit.
All right, it's time for our weekdays coffee break. Today's tidbit with Angela joining us in the studio. Angela, hello to you.
Hi, SJ.
Angela, 나펜수 says 안녕하세요. 귀엽고 친절한
Aw.
안젤라님.
Thank you. Hi.
양그룹 says 아젤라.
Silence.
No. How's your weekend? Bruce asks, hope your weekend was right. You got a special weekend?
I finished a sweater.
That's right. There was I forgot to mention this. Like, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. You're like, I knitted this.
Yeah.
It was a purple and yellow.
It was a striped
Yeah.
sweater.
It was so pretty. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have to
thank
mention
you.
this on Coffee Break today. Completely forgot to talk about it.
I finished a new sweater this weekend.
But it's summer.
Like a summer knit.
Oh.
I'll wear it next time.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
She's a pro knitter. I mean,
So yes, I had
it is
fun.
what she does. Let's talk about today's tidbit. What is our today's tidbit?
Well, so SJ, here's the thing.
Yes.
Regarding art museums,
Yes.
Seoul has everything from like traditional galleries and digital art spaces. But can you guess what kind of art space the city is missing?
What art space
Yes.
is
Like it has like digital interactive museums, galleries.
statues? No, we have statues.
They have
We
a lot of
We have
statues.
a lot of statues. What is that thing called when people are actually doing it? They do like weird stuff and they're like, I'm art. Like people.
performing.
Performance art. Is there performance?
They have that too.
What are we missing?
Well, so Seoul is incredibly rich when it comes to visual art institutions, but to point out a gap, there hasn't been a space dedicated solely to photography.
Really?
Yeah. So like until now, that is, we've seen like photography featured in exhibitions before, but like we've never had a public museum in Korea that focuses only on photography as its main medium.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Because I know Koreans are big on photography.
Yes.
But there's no dedicated photography museum all this time. So this is all going to change now.
Yes, on May 29th, Seoul will open the Seoul Museum of Photography, and it's officially the first ever public museum in the country dedicated to photography.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked that this is the first time they're actually
Right?
opening after all these years. So where is it opening?
So it's located in Changdong, a neighborhood in Seoul's Dobonggo district. This new museum is actually a branch of the Seoul Museum of Art, or SEMA. The official name is Seoul Museum of Photography, and it's been in the making for over 10 years, actually.
Changdong also has one of the best naengmyeon restaurants.
Maybe you can get it, go as a course.
You know, check it out. Great naengmyeon place in Changdong there. Okay,
Yes.
that's cool. SEMA, it's called Seoul Museum
Yes.
of Art. 10 years
Yes.
it took? I mean, do we have a picture of how it looks?
I forgot to
You forgot?
upload it.
Okay,
But
is it beautiful?
it is beautiful. It's impressive both inside and out.
Okay.
The design was led by Austrian architect Mladen Jadrich, along with Korean architect Jung Kunju. So you can guess the building itself is like a work of art. I'm very sorry I didn't put the photo up, but for anyone interested, it's like they can look it up. And well, the concept of the building is really cool, which is why I wanted to mention it. It visually represents a photo pixel, you know, which would make sense, right? So since photography is like all about lights and pixels, so it's very modern and it's very interesting to look at.
We just played a song called Pixels by Sean. And we're talking about pixels.
Oh, wow.
Not related, but it wasn't related.
Yeah.
So it's not just a gallery, but it's like really built for photography. I wonder what that means, though.
So, like, the museum spans over 7,000 square meters from 2 floors underground to 4 floors above. It's very big.
Okay.
And it includes around 1,800 square meters of exhibition space, but it's also packed with features like dark rooms. Yeah, very cool, right? Educational studios, a photo library, and even a photo book cafe. And so the idea is to give visitors every possible way to engage with photography as art, as memory, as a culture, as a medium. And, you know, when I read that they were having a back room, I was like, like 10 years ago, I would have been so excited because I really got into movies starting with film cameras. So anyone who really wants to start out, I think it's a great way to start out with photography by visiting this place.
No, seriously, people don't know what the dealio is with dark rooms, right? I mean, nowadays everything is digital, and everything you have like a cell phone. You take a picture of that, and you just you could have like a self smartphone printer nowadays. But I remember in college, I was friends with this Hyung, Sanbe Hyung, was a photography major, and I visited the dark room, and he showed me all the things that are done, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is really cool. And the importance of not letting any light go into the room. There's a lot of
like finding a dark room is actually pretty hard because you can't let any light in. You have to use a specific red light, and then there are certain chemicals you need to like actually process the film. So yeah, I think it's really cool that they're having that as well.
No, and again, I mean, it's very interactive for people to learn how to use the dark room and actually develop photos. I mean, I remember back in the days, every time, remember the disposable cameras?
Yeah.
You go to Rite Aid and be like, here, can you...
make it
develop it for us, but the dark room is completely different. So again, it seems like it's not just for viewing, but learning, participating, very interactive.
You got it. And, it's designed to be interactive with workshops and programs that appeal to all ages. And it's not just about showcasing Korean photography. The museum also aims to become a hub for photographic art in Asia.
So what's the opening exhibit going to be? This is very important, right?
Yes. So the first major event is called 광적인 시선. 광 here meaning light,
but not crazy,
but also crazy, like also fanatical. So it could be translated in two ways: a gaze based on light, or obsessed with light. And it's fun because photography is basically capturing light. So I think that was a very
crazy
fun
about light. Yeah.
And the exhibit will be a year-long special inaugural exhibition. There are 3 parts in total. The first 2 will be unveiled on May 29th. One is titled Storage Story, and the other is Radiance Moments of Beginnings, 광채 시작의 순간.
All right, so tell us what they're going to be about, though.
So Storage Story showcases contemporary artworks by artists who are part of the museum's journey, offering interpretations of what it means to build a museum from the ground up, of course, by using photography as a medium.
And the other one?
The other, Radiance, dives into the early history of Korean art photography, highlighting some of the country's most legendary photo artists and the luminous moments that shape the medium. So, it reflects both the museum's origin and Korea's photography history.
This is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Photography history.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a museum after all, right?
And of course, there's a third part. That will debut in December, and details to follow, which will wrap up the inaugural trilogy.
So obviously, there's a lot to see, and once they do have the third part of the exhibit, opening up in December, there's going to be a lot to see there, and so it's not just for photo nerds.
Not at all. And best part, it's all free.
No,
all
get out. Really?
Yeah. The museum is operated by the city, so it's free to the public. And it's open Tuesday to Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on weekdays, and closes at 7 p.m. on weekends and holidays. Mondays are a regular day off, so keep that in mind when you're planning your visit.
It's perfect that we talked about it today. It's not even open today. We talk about it today.
It's opening this week.
So, go on a day it's not. Oh, this is perfect.
Yes.
All right. We're going to continue to talk about this, but oh my goodness, 17 again. I'm telling you, there's 17 all the time.
No, it isn't.
17 with Snapshoot.
어지러워 내 상의 소방 도망치자 오래도래서 so far 흔들어 우리 둘이 dance dance 손바닥을 clap clap 기분 좋은 날 기억하자 사진 속에 담아 너의 무파인데 초점을 내게로 맞추는 방법이 사랑의 튜토리얼 아 이렇게 하는 거구나 아 3, 2, 1 Your snapshot camera lens point it at you 너의 움직임 따라 찰칵대는 중 Every day you say 너물이 끓어내 이 순간을 너의 빛으로 그려내 yeah. Snapshot 너를 Snapshot 나를 네 옆에 내가 있고 너는 내 옆에 있는 지금 이 순간을 담아냈죠 Snapshot 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 네 옆에 내가 있고 너는 내 옆에 있는 지금 어차피 쉬운 일은 없지만서도 난 네가 있어서 모두 다 괜찮아 사랑은 내게 다른 게 아니고 사진 속 우리의 웃음이 다야 너의 디파인드 초점은 어쩌 자연스레 움직임 따라 널 따라가 아 이런 기분이구나 아 3, 2, 1 스냅쇼 웃음 나만의 거품 너의 모습 그대로 셔터눌러 다시 필름을 감아 사진 속 걷어 거슬러 봤던 너의 미소 현장에 내 인생을 그대로 Snapshot 너를 Snapshot 나를 네 옆에 내가 있고 너는 내 옆에 있는 지금 이 순간을 담아 Snapshot 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 네 옆에 내가 있고 너는 내 옆에 있는 지금 이 순간을 Come on baby 너 내게 baby 최고의 선물 Love love Snapshot Come on baby 너 내게 baby 최고로 소중한 Love love Snapshot 저녁 시간 배가 고플 때 나와 함께 밥을 먹어줘 I need you baby 완벽보다 완벽한 피사체 Snapshot 너를 Snapshot 나를 네 옆에 내가 있고 나는 내 옆에 있는 지금 이 순간을 담아 Snapshot 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 네 옆에 내가 있고 나는 내 옆에 있는 지금 이 순간을 shoot
17 with Snapshoot. I have to make a correction here. I was saying that there was a tasty naengmyeon place in Changdong. It wasn't Changdong. It was Cheongpadong. It was not Changdong. Cheongpadong. So no tasty naengmyeon with your photography museum here. We've been discussing Seoul's first ever museum dedicated to photography opening soon. But we talked about all the things that they have for this particular museum, but
Yes.
there's also programs that they offer.
Yes, so one of the coolest things is how the museum connects its exhibitions with interactive programs. I saw the website and there's one like they're bringing in the photographers that participated in the exhibition and, making a map of the area together. There are like workshops and, speeches. So definitely check the website for more information if you're interested. And, the whole point of the Seoul Museum of Photography is not just to preserve images, but to spark conversations and introduce new ways of seeing through photography. So it's a space that celebrates photography in all forms as documentation, as art, and as cultural memory.
Between the architecture, again, designed by a famous architect, free exhibits, the community workshop, it's got everything for everybody.
Definitely. And I think it really shows how Seoul is maturing as an art city.
Yeah.
It's offering lots of platforms, not just for painters or sculptors, but for all kinds of visual storytellers, including photographers.
No, really. If you go to Ulchiro, right, the Ulchiro area, there's a lot of paint shops, painting shops that you
Yeah.
can go to and stuff like that. And all over scattered around Seoul, there's very artsy areas. But
Yeah.
this is completely different here. You mentioned, again, the newly opening photography museum. This is part, though, of the Seoul Museum of Art.
Yes, so it's one of SEMA's branches, and if photography isn't your thing or you want more after visiting Changdong, you can also check out what's happening at SEMA's other locations. They've got some pretty exciting shows right now.
Okay, like what?
So let's start with the Seosomun main branch. It's located near Deoksugung Palace, so you can guess that the way there is beautiful. But
Yeah.
they've also got a show called Talking Heads running until July 6th. It recently started late in April. The exhibition is a deep dive into contemporary identity and portraiture, and SEMA has a location in the north of the city as well.
What are they having there, though?
The Bukseoul Museum of Art in Nowon-gu is a big space with multiple floors and even a children's gallery, so it's more family-friendly. And right now they're running an exhibition called A World of Paintings on the Lee Gun-hee collection, and it's up through July 20th. Yes.
For our listeners out there, Lee Gun-hee is the late chairman of Samsung Electronics, and he was a big art guy.
He was an avid collector, so a lot of his collections are on display right there, and yeah, I really recommend going there.
He was also a big wine guy, but I think he might have drank all that stuff. SEMA really has something for everyone all across its branches,
Yes,
Angela.
and whether you're into photos, portraits, or classic painting, it's all there. And again, the best part, most exhibitions, including those at the new Photography Museum, are free, so there's really no excuse not to stop by.
You know, I have to say this is interesting because we often talk about famous painters, famous sculptors, but famous photographers is not something that we mention often.
Yeah,
And I think it's a good learning piece here.
Yeah, like we usually remember iconic like photos, but not the people behind the lenses. Yeah, so I think
It's true. That's
yeah.
true. That is very true, and it requires a lot of art. It's like kind of like, you know, people go like, is like F1 driving really sport? Right?
I think it is.
It is because you
Yeah.
don't understand like how grueling it is
Yeah.
to be driving all that. In the same way, you're using a camera, but how you use the camera with the light and all that
Exactly.
stuff. I mean, it's art. Angela, last tidbits before we wrap up.
Sure. So the tidbit is a book title. If you're interested in visual or art or photography in general, I highly recommend the book Ways of Seeing by John Berger. It's about how we look at art and how what we see is shaped by culture, power, and history. And it's really accessible, but really does change your way of seeing. So I thought it would be interesting to mention along with photography today.
Do you take a lot of pictures?
Yeah, I do have a film camera.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How do you develop it?
There's this place I go in Ulchiro, as you mentioned.
Wow.
Yes.
That's the other thing. It's hard to find places in your
Yeah,
neighborhood
and
where they
it's-
actually develop
And
it.
it's actually quite expensive these days. Going analog is very expensive. The film is
Do you
expensive.
have a Leica?
No, I don't
I
know.
was about to say, my dad's been talking about this all the time. Like he
I
does
really
digital
want
stuff.
a Leica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been talking about that stuff, but no way, Jose. Expensive stuff here.
Yes.
All right, Angela, fun stuff here. I'm definitely really interested. I think my dad's going to be visiting Rio soon, and
Maybe
I
you
think I'm
should
going
go
to.
with
No,
him.
I'm definitely going to be
Yeah.
taking him. I think he'll be really interested in
I'm
this.
glad.
All right, Angela, thank you very much for today's tidbit. Have a safe one. We'll see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right, well, we talked about museums. This is a song from Cold with 미술관에서 the museum. Special?
Well, both. Like you mentioned, there is Japanese rice, right? Why then Korean rice?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
It's a mix of things. Well, first off, rice prices in Japan have almost doubled in the past year.
Oh, I heard about this.
So that's pushing people to look for alternatives. And it's true that Korean rice is cheaper and both delicious. A 5-kilogram bag in Japan might cost over 40,000 won, while here in South Korea, a 10-kilogram bag is less than 30,000 won.
Yeah, I heard something on the lines of right now. I think one of the ministers, agricultural minister of Japan,
He
had
got
resigned or
ki-
something like
he-
that. Or-
Yeah, he got kicked out.
Is it kicked out?
Basically kicked out because he said something about rice, actually.
Yeah.
And there's actually this really real political crisis going on in Japan about rice. So I think that certainly does have pushed this to a certain extent.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there's many different kinds of rice. I also like other rice, as in like long grain rice is delicious at times too. But Korean rice, it's affordable.
Yes.
It's tasty.
Yes.
It's popular.
Yeah, and many of the Korean rice brands are now getting exported to Japan. These types of rice are actually premium quality. So it's not just grocery shopping, but actual gourmet rice tourism that is being sparked here.
I wonder though, since Japan, this is terrible for any Asian country, guys. If you
Yeah.
have a rice crisis in an
Yeah,
Asian
it's-
country, can you imagine that?
No. It's terrible because most Asian countries eat rice as their main food source.
No, that's what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's their main carb source, and then everything else is side dishes
Yeah,
and things like that.
exactly.
But if there is a rice crisis right now, even before that, considering it's more affordable, it's tasty and stuff like that, does South Korea export a lot of rice to Japan?
Yeah. So
Okay.
this month alone, Korea exported nearly 200 tons of rice to Japan, and more is on the way from Gangwon-do, Jeollado, and Gyeongsang-do provinces, all very famous for rice.
Again, I mean, it's It's interesting to talk about rice being
Yeah.
a popular export to
Right.
Japan, which is an Asian country. But why is Korean rice more tasty?
So this is actually scientific. So there are lots of varieties in Korean rice, and some have low protein content, which actually makes the cooked rice more softer and making it have, exceptionally good texture and flavor. And so the scientific part here is protein interferes with water absorption when cooking. So low protein rice ends up more moist and fluffy, and that is why Korean rice is actually gaining popularity overseas.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you prefer wet rice or dry rice?
So like 설익은 rice or 진밥,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the ones that are like
more fluffy.
fluffy or sticky?
I like fluffy.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't like rice that is closer to chuk.
Yeah. No, that's the worst. That's the worst. But I have a problem with this. Everyone in my family likes wet rice.
Oh, really?
I like dry rice.
They like the sticky.
They like the sticky stuff. I don't know. They said it's easier to digest and stuff like that, but it doesn't. It doesn't feel like rice, you know. But also, I wonder why rice is such a big deal in Korea and across Asia. Like, let's get some history stuff here.
Because rice. It isn't just rice. In Korea, the word for rice, pap, actually means meal. Yeah, so it's so central that to say I ate in Korean literally means I ate rice, 밥
Yep.
먹었다. And that says a lot about its place in our food and culture. And this isn't limited to Korea. In Japanese, the word gohang means both rice and meal there too.
Gohan,
Gohang.
like as in Dragon Ball, Gohan.
I don't know.
That's where they got this from. I didn't know that. If you not watch Dragon Ball, it's spelled the same way. Gohan. It means both rice. I mean, Japan, I'm pretty sure it's the
Yeah.
same way as well.
Yeah.
But what about like in China though?
Yeah, so in Chinese, fang has the same dual meaning. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. I apologize. But you can see, like, it's deeply ingrained across East Asia. And in fact, it's so ingrained that there's a historical record from the Joseon dynasty that shows how important rice was. One Korean man shipwrecked in Hokkaido was so confused when the local Ainu people offered him only fish and no rice. And he assumed they were just being stingy, because he didn't realize that they didn't grow rice at all. And it was possible to not have rice with fish.
I mean, again, it really does show how much we assume
Yeah.
rice equals food, right?
Exactly. And rice is more than nutrition. It's, comfort, tradition, even identity in South Korea. And now it's an international shopping item. So who would have guessed?
Crash Override says Dragon Ball characters are often named after food. Well, I mean, Piccolo was named after instrument, tambourine. But what's Goku then? What does Goku mean, guys? Chris Rose also said a lot of Dragon Ball characters were named based on food.
I didn't know that.
That's all right. That's what's Krillin. What does Krillin mean, guys? Anyways, we talked about rice. This is a good song to talk about, to listen to here. This is Oma, Changmin, and Ihan with 밥만 잘 먹더라. I was able to eat well.
사랑이 떠나가도
Yeah, so many people were Dragon Ball fans.
No, I've never watched it. So, I'm just confused here.
Crash Alright Oolong was named after the tea. Well, Oolong,
Oolong
the
tea.
pig, Oolong. Puar. What about Puar? What's Puar? Kakarot, carrot. Goku's real name was Kakarot. That's true.
Interesting.
This turned into a very random
Yeah,
tidbit today. We're
it
talking
did.
about rice here. But yes.
Yes.
We've been talking about the interesting phenomenon of Japanese tourists buying Korean rice when they're going back home. But how is rice central to Asian culture, and what else is there to know about rice?
Well, to start with,
Okay.
what's your favorite rice-based food?
Oh, that's a hard question.
There are a lot of rice-based foods in South Korea.
I do. Oh, wait, Korean? Wait, Korean food or Asian food?
Well, all. But, show your patriotism.
I'm American. I'm American. I'll probably be saying like rice pudding or no
Rice.
rice pudding. I like 볶음밥.
Oh,
I like
is that... Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah
I
볶음밥.
guess.
You know, like 철판 볶음밥.
Yeah, okay. Not the most traditional of foods, but...
No, it's not. What like bibimbap?
Yeah, sure.
But it's not my favorite. I'm gonna say something very controversial. Bibimbap is overrated. Bibimbap is overrated.
I think
Anybody
I
can
think
make a
lot
good.
of, yeah.
Anybody can make a good bibimbap.
I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah, but what about you?
I love 떡. Rice
Oh,
cakes.
you went there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
My favorite food is tteokbokki, so yeah.
Okay, you went there. All right, so like food that even uses rice,
Yeah,
not
sure.
necessarily like okay, that's what you meant. 볶음밥.
Still the same answer, but yeah, like I think like the fact that we can talk about different kinds of foods that include rice like points to how rice is central to our everyday lives and food culture. And like, you know, just look at how many dishes in Korea are rice based, you know, right?
Yeah. But, you know, I think we talked about this on our previous season, in our previous show, how rice consumption is actually decreasing these days.
Yes.
Especially with like Korea's growing bread and noodle culture that's been rising, right?
So that is true. Rice consumption in Korea has been steadily declining for 37 consecutive years since 1988, according to Statistics Korea. And in 2021, the annual per person consumption was 56.9 kilograms. That seems like a lot, but is actually a 1.4% drop from 2020.
I mean, it's just we live in a society now where, I mean, food, there's so much diverse foods
Exactly.
now that people are eating less rice. But nevertheless, let's talk about this shift. Why is this happening?
So, like you mentioned, it's mostly due to lifestyle changes. More people are ordering delivery or eating out rather than cooking meals at home, which were primarily rice-based.
Yeah.
But here's a twist. While the overall trend is downward, the rate of decrease has actually slowed in recent years. In 2019, consumption dropped by 3.0%. In 2020, it was 2.5%, but by 2021, it had slowed to just 1.4%. So like actually the decrease, like less people are eating, but actually the decrease rate is slowing down.
I feel like it's because the economy has been bad and people are not going out. 그냥 집에서 밥 먹어.
That is actually true.
Oh,
Yeah, that is, you
is
guessed
that-
one of the reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Ministry of Agriculture attributes this to three factors. First, the rise of ready-made meals and meal kits like soup packs or stews has brought more people back to eating rice at home. And second, as you mentioned, there's been like a significant increase in one-person households, and they tend to consume more rice per person and, you know, try to eat at home.
Yeah.
And third, after COVID-19, many people began to prefer cooking at home again, which led to a small but meaningful rebound in rice consumption.
So it's not that Koreans are like abandoning rice, which
Of
would be
course,
ridiculous.
you can.
You
You're,
can.
you're
That'd be-
South Korean, you can.
That'd be ridiculous. It's just adapting to new lifestyles.
Exactly.
Basically.
And, you know, this is all relatively recent, actually. If we look back a few decades, Korea actually struggled to produce enough rice for the whole population. Up until the 1970s, before the development of high-yield varieties, rice shortages were actually more common.
So, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, white rice was actually a luxury back in the days.
Exactly. You know, a good harvest wasn't just a good year for farmers, it was a national relief, in fact.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until high-yield strains like 통일벼 were introduced that rice became more readily available to the general public.
That's why there's this game that my dad taught me when I was a kid. You know, himbap, 쌀밥, 보리밥.
쌀보리.
And then it's like if you do 보리밥, which is barley rice,
Yeah.
brown rice, you don't catch it.
But when
But
you
if it's
do
쌀밥,
쌀, you have to catch it because it's a luxury, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's where the history of 쌀밥, 보리밥, the game. But again, I mean, it is a pretty big shift. Like in let's face it. I mean, if you look at
Like
the
just-
history,
yeah,
it's a short
just-
period of time.
Just like 3 to 4 decades.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that rice isn't just food. Like, it can be deeply emotional and cultural in South Korea. You know, like even in media, it just reminded me, if you look at the drama Pachinko, it keeps on showing making rice, like 쌀밥, because that's just South Koreans' way of showing love, and you know it's a really cultural thing for South Koreans, and you know that's why when someone can't eat rice, I don't know, say because of allergies,
Yeah.
it's a huge deal because it's so imperative to our culture.
There is such thing as a rice allergy, right?
Yeah.
Because of glutens and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like not even just because of glutens, like just because you can't eat rice. I actually have rice allergy.
Do you? Oh yeah, you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a mild rice allergy. It isn't severe, but I can't eat rice more than a day.
Wait,
Like more than once a day.
did you tell me when we have like 회식 or something like that, you have to like eat like medicine or take medicine or something like that?
So like if I eat too much rice, I get sick.
Oh my goodness.
Like I develop rashes and stuff. So like I tend to not eat it so much actually. I do love it though.
That must be tough for you, Angela.
Yeah, I mean it can be tough, but you know, you learn to live with it. And in South Korea, there's still a lot of misunderstanding around it. Actually, because of this, there was actually a tragic case which involved a child who nearly died after being forced to eat rice by a parent who didn't believe rice allergies were real.
Such an Asian thing to say.
Yeah, and you know, like at one time it was almost unimaginable in Korea that anyone couldn't eat rice. So you can see how like culturally it is significant.
Made It Up says, I don't eat rice. That's because he does that keto stuff. And rice is no bueno for keto. Which is why Koreans who do keto, it's one of the hardest thing to do. No rice.
I have one keto. You eat quinoa rice or stuff like that.
Quinoa.
Like, or barley.
but
I imagine barley.
It's not like barley still has carbs. That's the thing, right? Or they have like konjac rice or something like that, which is weird. Anyways, fun stuff here. Fun tidbit that we talked about here. Angela, as always, thank you very much, and have a safe one.
Thank you.
Oh, before I let you go, quick question.
Yes.
Are you good with eating by yourself?
I eat always by myself.
What about in restaurants?
Yeah, sure.
I love eating by myself too. That's what we want to know, because the next song that we're going to talk about, our last song, sending Angela out of the studio. Angela, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
This is Lee Myung-sik of B2B and Woods with Hombap's solo meal.
Coffee break. Today's tidbit.
All right, it's time for our weekdays coffee break. Today's tidbit, and joining us in the studio, Angela. Angela, hello to you.
Hello, SJ.
Angela.
Yes.
You heard about Arirang?
Like you just mentioned it,
Yes.
so yes, I did hear about it.
Do you want to join Arirang?
No, thank you.
What? What?
I said no because I know like I'm gonna be the only person to say no, and I wanted to be the
What are you talking about? People are lining up to join Arirang.
Okay.
Are you? Ki wants to join. Lena said yes. Soa said maybe. Who was it? We got a bunch of people.
No, I
wanted to-
said no because I know I'm gonna be the first person to say no. So.
Well, you're not the only person who said no, but
Aw.
That's
Then,
too bad.
then maybe.
we don't want you anymore. We don't want you anymore. It's an exclusive group.
Have fun.
Fancy stuff. You can tell she's a MZ because nothing outside of work. We never hang out outside of work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah. Don't even try. Don't even try, Angela.
Like, I don't know. I was gonna
Don't even
ask,
try.
do you want to? But it
Actually,
didn't
that's-
come out of my mouth. Like
Actually-
I couldn't make myself say it.
That's a very good point. I'm not gonna go, Angela. You want to hang out?
Yeah, like
Oh my goodness! I just thought about it. Even thinking about it is so weird. All right, let's just keep it at that.
yes.
We like that relationship, work-based relationship.
Yes.
All right, I hate that even we use the word relationship.
Oh God.
What's today's tidbit today?
Well, okay. Have you ever been to a cafe and noticed like it's completely decorated with one idol's face, like the coffee sleeves? I know you have been to one of these. Like the coffee sleeves are of the idol's face, and
Like a franchise?
not even a franchise, but it can be a franchise.
Well, because I know a producer whose girlfriend runs those idol cafes. So
Yes.
he's always giving me these sleeves.
Exactly. We're gonna talk about those
Oh
today.
my goodness! Yes. Okay. Yes, I do know. Then in that case, I
Yes.
do know.
If you have been to one of those cafes, you've just entered a 생카, short for 생일 카페, which literally means birthday cafe.
Okay.
Do you know what it is? Have you heard of the term?
No. But is it where you hold birthday parties at the cafe?
So yes and no. It's
Okay.
like a unique K-pop fan tradition where fans express their love for their favorite idols without the idol even being there. So like it's a part of a larger fan culture. Like fans rent out cafes and then completely transform the cafe into like mini museums for their idol's birthday. So like there are photo zones in the cafe. They make custom merchandise or MD or idol themed drinks, and like sometimes hold lucky draws at the cafe. And it's basically a birthday party for the idol without the idol actually being there.
Does the idol know that this birthday is
Yes.
being... Oh, they do?
Yeah, of course.
I was about to say, I thought that would be really weird.
No,
that,
it's really big.
So it's like... This kind of sounds like my birthday.
Why?
They throw a party not inviting me.
They do?
I don't know. So this is like throwing a birthday party,
Yes.
but the birthday boy or girl is not there.
Exactly.
That's so weird.
I mean, it sounds odd, but there's something like really magical about it. So like fans bond through the excitement of their love idol, and you know the atmosphere is also super welcoming. Like just passerbys can also visit, and interestingly, some idols do drop by actually, but only on rare occasions. Usually, it's less mainstream artists or you know those who've been around a while that visit the cafes hold for them. But like super popular idols like BTS don't visit.
Would you say if someone does a 생카 for the person, that person is very special? Would you say that person is like celebrity level?
I suppose.
Because someone's gonna throw me a 생카.
Congratulations.
I should feel. Look how her face doesn't change. Her face expression does not change whatsoever.
No, but like there have been, because this is such a big like culture in South Korea now, there have been instances where friends actually held senkas for just like normal people.
Oh, they were saying
Yeah.
Eugene's Minji when they did a senka for her, she
Yeah,
came.
she recently visited.
That's a big name though.
Yeah, so like, but she's not active right now.
Oh, yeah.
So like, it's actually a way for you know idols
Yes.
to interact with their fans as well.
So and again, I would assume many fans do actually
Definitely.
go to this.
So
Okay.
some cafes see like hundreds, even thousands of visitors a day. They have to line up to even enter.
Oh, jeez.
Famous idols like BTS might even have up to 100 birthday cafes opened for them just in Seoul. And cafe touring is actually a thing. I have been on one before. Like fans go from one birthday cafe to another, kind of like a fandom pilgrimage, so to speak.
So because you would know where the
Yes.
senkai is happening.
Yes.
And so you go one to another to another. So you go.
Yeah,
it's like-
because each birthday cafe has different merchandise.
Oh.
They have different like sleeves, like coffee sleeves, and you
you
know,
collect it and stuff?
fans collect it.
Do you have to pay to get in?
You don't have to pay to get in, but obviously you have to buy
Oh,
coffee
you buy. Okay.
to get the sleeves or like to buy the merchandise.
Okay, you have to
Yeah.
pay for the merchant stuff. I mean, this is becoming a big business then.
Yeah, and it's really creative because fans like design plushy like dolls, figurines, custom stickers, and you know some items actually become so popular they get mass produced after the cafe ends, and so like really, as you mentioned, it is a full-on fan business economy.
And I'm assuming then,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of what happens in Korea like catches up to other cultures, this is not like just a Korean thing anymore then.
No, it's global now. Like it's even spread to Japan where it's called 생일 카페. Like in Japanese pronunciation, they didn't change it to Japanese.
Because they can't do the the G. Yeah,
So they
okay.
just use the Korean. And in fact, 17's Cheonghan had birthday cafes not just in Korea, but also in Japan and the US.
Oh, our producer has actually
Mm-hmm.
a very good question, because if they're selling it, doesn't that mean that you have like, trademark issues and copyright issues and stuff like that?
Obviously, if the like companies or the idols themselves make an issue of it, it is a problem, but mostly they don't, because it's
Good way to
really
promote.
fan based. Yeah, it's actually really good way to promote. Also, it's like it's done for the love, it's not done for the money. So like even if they do make money, the money is used again to support the idol. So yeah, there is a really problem with the copyright, so to speak.
Since K-pop is spreading to many corners of the world, I'm
Yes.
going to assume that maybe like international fans are also coming to Korea to take part in these like cafe hopping stuff.
Absolutely. These cafes are often packed with international fans. There's even this article about German exchange students who came to a Senka in Hapjeong for 17th the 8. And, it's like one fan even said it felt like a platform 9 3/4 from Harry Potter, something only fans can truly see and access. I thought that was a really great.
Probably try running into one of the walls then. So people just go in, rent cafes, hold these events, like
They
simple
can
as
do that too, yeah.
Okay.
But now there are now cafes that exist only to be rented out the events.
Yeah.
They're close
very quickly, beyond just birthday then. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it's a huge celebration, basically.
Yes, these cafes are also used to celebrate anniversaries, drama or film releases, or, just special milestones. So it's very big.
Marilyn, don't ask me to take you there. Ask Angela to take you there. Because I would go to. Oh, because you need my wallet. All right. All right, Angela. Again, I've heard about it. I just did not know. That was 17 with HBD. Happy birthday. Crash Override over in Michigan says, does Seoul really need another excuse to have more cafes? Apparently, yes.
It's not more cafes. It's like changing the way cafes are,
Yeah.
you.
So it's actually helped a lot of the small businesses
Yeah,
that because
it
there
did.
are so many cafes and they're not making enough money, but when they're open to accepting fans who want to throw parties and stuff like
Exactly.
that, it's actually helped their business. So it's not new cafes only strictly for that. We're talking about how, idols sometimes come to these like senka and stuff like that. But also I feel like there's a lot of love being given. Like, the idols ever give back because of the love that they get?
They do. Like, there's a new trend of idols throwing reverse events for the fans.
For the fans?
Yeah, so like IU, she is actually known for this. On her birthday this year, in fact, she hosted her own IU HBD cafe in Seoul and gave out over 8,300 free drinks across 38 locations nationwide, including Seoul, Busan, Daejeon, and even Jeju-do Island. And she also gifted fans with photo cards and bookmarks. So it goes both ways, actually.
Where do these cafes though? Like, and I've
What?
always, I don't know how I feel about it if someone were to do this for me, especially in COEX, Samsung Station. You see a lot of this. When it's your birthday,
Yes.
fans put money together to take out an ad space
Yes.
with your face birthday from fans of like.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
So that is actually another form of fan-led celebration, kind of like, where the Senka, I guess, started from. Fans pull money to rent ad space in subway stations, especially again in high traffic areas like Gangnam, Samsung, or Hongdae, as you
Yeah.
mentioned. You'll see huge LED screens, like not even just subway stations, entire train car wraps.
What?
Yeah. Or screen doors with idol birthday messages on them, or even like bus stations. Or even, in Gangnam, they have those big like ad screens outside on buildings.
Yeah,
They will
yeah.
rent certain times for that as well.
I mean, like the biggest I've seen was like they would take out ads on a bus, like
Yeah.
they would cover an entire bus,
Yeah.
and be like "Happy Birthday" via BTS or something.
For
like that.
actors, they sometimes rent out whole theaters. Like a theater screening place, and name the theater like Park Chan-wook-kwan, or like I don't know who's your favorite actor, Son Ye-jin-kwan.
But
like
all
that.
of this like can't be cheap though.
No, obviously it is not cheap. Wrapping an entire subway car for a month can cost around 10 million won. Even one subway screen door ad can cost between 1 to 7 million won a month, and bus stop ads often exceed 1.5 million won. But fans still do it. And according to Seoul Metro, over 40% of all subway ads last year came from idol fan clubs.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
It's not as expensive I thought it would be.
So these are the cheapest prices for like low visibility areas.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Because I was like, man, if I had like 1.5 million to just waste away, just put my face in there.
On one bus stop.
Oh, just on one bus stop.
Of course.
I mean, it has to be a good bus stop though. It has to be a good bus. Okay, so fans are literally taking over the city with these tributes. is
Pretty
what we're
much.
seeing.
And, in fact, it's become such a cultural phenomenon in South Korea that really fun ads or cafes have popped up around the city. Some of these events even celebrate historical figures. There have been birthday cafes for authors, professors, scholars sending congratulatory messages or attending in person. And guess what? Can you guess who had a birthday cafe recently?
A birthday like a scholar?
Like a historical figure, I guess you can say.
Oh, King Sejong.
King Sejong did have one.
Because we recently talked
Yes,
about his birthday.
He did have one.
It's not
but
him?
There was a Jesus birthday cafe around Christmas. It was decorated like an idol cafe with themed drinks and like photo zones, like
J Diddy.
like walk on water drinks. And then there was even one.
Wine turns
Exactly.
turn water into wine. That's a beautiful wine party, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
then there was even one for Buddha this year for Buddha's birthday. And so like you know, it showed and one for you, I guess.
Oh man, I mean, again, that's the fandom. We have
Yeah.
a very unique fandom stuff going on. Yangurum says, "Does Arirang have an SJ Kwan?" It's the 8th floor, second bathroom stall. That's my Kwan.
Put your name up on it.
I might put my
Yes.
name on that
Yeah.
stuff. But this is cool though.
Yeah, it's fandom love. It shows love.
Yeah, and if any of our listeners are interested, I think Chris was saying that Chris Rhodes, when he came to Korea, he went to a one of the senkas for PBG members or something like that. But cool stuff. Hey, before we let you go, you choose these songs.
Yes.
That we do. And Crash Override was saying you should play Red Velvet's Birthday. And what song did you choose?
Red Velvet's birthday.
That's right. Angela did it. Angela, thank you so much for this. Tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Coffee break. Today's tidbit.
All right, it's time for our weekdays coffee break. Today's tidbit, and joining us in the studio, Angela. Angela, hello to you.
Hi, SJ.
Did anybody see me wave help SOS? Angela was really about to kill me.
It was about something. It was your fault, really.
It was my fault.
Yeah.
I like to get her like, I don't know, get flustered,
riled up.
riled up before.
You like to mess with my brain before I
do.
go in.
I do, but you know, if there's one person I'm scared of in this entire show, is Angela.
I don't. You're not afraid of me, or you wouldn't be saying stuff like that.
I was waving my hands, help. I was like, help, help me. I'm so scared. Anyways, what's our random tidbit today?
Today's big question to start off coffee break. Do you like animated films?
I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, do you think then animated films then like can move us just as deeply as live action films, or
Oh, absolutely.
what's your favorite animated film?
Oh my goodness. That's a very good question. I like a lot of the Is Pixar considered animated too?
Oh, sure.
I like a lot of Pixar stuff, but I liked Disney. When I saw Lion King,
Oh, yeah,
and,
classic.
and then Mufasa died,
Oh, that's
and then Simba goes under his arm. I was like, the second grade me was like,
when I was young, I watched Mulan on repeat.
was that? I never watched Mulan.
Really?
Yeah.
my
Because when I was young, I was like, I'm not gonna watch girl stuff. Like just like I never watched Cinderella.
Okay.
I was forced to watch Pocahontas. Pocahontas was good, but I've never watched like princess stuff.
Oh, well,
But anyways,
Mulan is a warrior, but yes.
she is. She's warrior princess like Xena. But anyways, this is cool. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about animated films.
Yes, Korean animation to be exact, so not Disney. But we're talking about animation because especially as Korea is seeing this shift where, animation is becoming a serious medium for storytelling, we've got like more animated movies being made, and a big new example of that coming up is this new movie made by a Korean animation firm. Have you heard of the film Lost in Starlight?
No, do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm uncultured.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because it is new.
Oh, is it?
It's not released yet.
I'm
so-
cultured. I'm cultured again. So tell us about this. What is this?
So this is a Korean-made Netflix animation titled 이별의 필요한. The Korean title is 이별의 필요한, which can mean both what this star needs and what this farewell needs. That wordplay
Oh,
is...
이별.
Yes,
Okay.
that wordplay is actually very intentional.
So tell us what this is about.
So the movie is set in the year 2050 and tells a long-distance romance between two characters, Nanyoung, a Mars-bound astronaut, and Tae, a retro-loving musician living on Earth. And I prepared the poster for the film. I thought it was just really
Is
interesting. Yeah.
this rated R?
No.
What's going on?
I
That
don't
looks like
think so.
Wall-E. I see a robot.
Yeah, because it's like sci-fi romance.
It's looking at the animation, it's very Korean. Like it looks very Korean.
Like I do agree there are like certain animation styles for certain countries.
Yeah. This is
definitely.
cool. All
Yeah.
right. And so, like, I mean, did they have like a trailer for this that was released?
Yeah, there was a trailer, and from what I got from the teaser trailer, like the vibe is very sentimental and nostalgic, but set in a futuristic world, like we saw in like the poster just now. And the film explores love across time and space, and also about healing. And according to director Han Ji-won, the title isn't just about needing someone; it's about the love that helps us grow and the farewell that helps us heal old wounds. So it's a very deep animation.
And this is like a completely like Korea produced
Yes.
piece, right?
Yes, and that's the big deal. This is the streaming platform's first Korean-produced, Korean-language animated feature film. And Netflix has funded Korean animations before, but this is the first time they've co-produced one from start to finish.
Okay. So they co-produced this. And here's the thing. I mean, animation is one thing. But voice actors.
Oh yeah, that's big.
If you have a significant budget, they use big names for actors, right? Actresses, even some renowned voice actors and actresses. Let's talk about some of the names that are involved
Yeah,
here.
some big names are involved in this film as well. Two actors I like personally, Kim Tae-ri and Hong Kyung, voice the main characters. You might remember them from the drama Aki or Revenant. This is their second project together. Kim Tae-ri plays Nan-young and Hong Kyung plays Jae. And they didn't just lend their voices, they even participated in writing lyrics for the OST.
Really?
Yeah. So like I don't think they actually sing in the movie. We'll find out when it premieres tomorrow, but they did write the lyrics for the original soundtrack. And what we do know is that the soundtrack is supposed to sound like a love letter between the two characters. The director imagined what music might feel like in 2050. Like, so, yeah.
Oh.
I think that's really interesting. I'm really looking forward to hearing it.
No, I do wonder what music will be
Yeah.
like in 2050.
Dreamy.
I don't know. I mean, music has evolved a lot
Yeah.
over the years, and then they go back to like the retros,
Right.
and then I wonder how K-pop is gonna sound like in 2050. Okay.
Hopefully more deeper lyrics.
Well, I don't think that's gonna happen. One complaint I always have is like the lyrics aren't deep anymore.
Well, it's supposed to be a love letter between the characters, so yeah.
Well, I mean, for this, I think the lyrics
Yeah.
are going to be like pretty deep, right? And so, I mean, again, but let's talk about the visual style, though. I was talking about how, there are certain images where you look at it and you go, oh, this is Japanese, this is like
Yeah.
American, this is Korean.
Yeah.
It looks very Korean.
I don't know what it is about that makes something Korean, but yeah. So this film is definitely not your typical sci-fi film. The director wanted to show a futuristic soul that still feels familiar. Like, date spots we might actually go to even in 2050. What can you think of?
Kayo Top 10.
You would go on a date to Kaya Top 10.
When I'm 2050, how old am I in 2050? That's 25 years
I don't know,
from now.
I was thinking more like futuristic cafes.
Yes, Korea would still
Yeah.
definitely have a lot of
Right?
cafes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and like the film is supposed to be this blend of everyday urban scenery, soft, dreamy future elements, and the focus is really on emotion and connection. So yeah, we can look forward to that in the film.
Wait, can I see the picture, Pina? Can I see the poster again? Because again, I didn't know that it was depicting 2050 Seoul, right? And so
you thought the robot was just there?
no, I was only looking at the character and the robot and stuff like that. The skies are clean. We don't have to worry
Oh,
about
yeah,
them.
that
right?
is
Because
true.
one of the things that we worry about is like, are the skies are going to be like terrible?
But like you do get this very dreamy vibe, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It's the sun. The sun is still gonna go up, and I
No.
see like I see the bridge. That's like the what is it? The train.
Yeah.
Subway
Yeah,
bridge, right?
Still there.
It's still there. So I guess.
But like even while I was preparing for today, I was thinking, oh, SJ isn't gonna watch this because it's sci-fi.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true.
So-
I'm not a big fan of sci-fi.
But it's like based on today, so maybe I
don't
can
like.
convince you to watch.
Yeah, but see, I don't like sci-fi,
Mm-hmm.
but I like animation, which is why like Wall-E is one of my favorite animation films. I think
Yeah.
it's super sad. But this is cool stuff.
Yes.
Cool stuff here. All right, so we're going to continue to talk about animations here. But first, we talked about
별.
별.
Yes.
That's why this is 도경수 or Dio with I Do 별 떨어진다.
I do 밝은 빛은 별뿐인 고요한 오늘 밤 잔잔한 풀벌레 소리 멋진 노랫말 내 어깨 위로 살짝 기대진 너의 엉긴 맘을 괜히 들뜨게 해 설렘 끝에 번지는 기대감 소원 빌래 별 떨어진다 잠깐이라 또 놓쳤지만 금방 더 떨어지겠지 밤이 끝날 때까지 원하는 게 딱 하나인데 난내 소원 듣게 되면 I do 웃으며 대답해줘 I do 둘이 아닌 우린 어떤 모습일까 꼭 하나인 것 같이 서로를 잘 알아 수없이 많은 기억들이 똑같을 너와 나 상상만 했는데 다 이루어진 것 같아 넌 아무거나 맞고 빌어도 돼 내가 전부 듣고 이뤄줄게 저 별을 갖고 싶단 말하면 닫아줄게 맘으로만 혼자 빌어도 돼 말해줄 때까지 기다릴게 네 마음이 눈에 보였음 해 하늘의 저 별들처럼 소원 빌래 별 떨어진다 네 옆을 잠깐이라 또 놓쳤지만 금방 더 떨어지겠지 밤이 끝날 때까지 원하는 게 딱 하나인데 난내 소원 듣게 되면 I do 웃으며 대답해줘 I do 너만 좋다면 좋아 그게 뭐라도 네가 간다면 따라가 어떨 때도 오랜 시간 흘러가도 함께 있으면 좋겠어 너는 난 네 옆에서 소원 빌래 별 떨어진다 다시 내게 온다 잠깐이라 또 놓쳤지만 널 보느라 놓쳤지 이제 뭐 상관없겠지 이미 눈치챘으니 원하는 건 너 하나뿐이야 영원히 함께 해줘 I do 웃으며 대답해줘 I do
That was 도경수 or Dio with I Do 별 떨어진다. We're back here in the studio with Angela for the latest in Coffee Break. Today's tidbit, we were talking about this new Netflix animation, Korean-produced animation called Lost in Stars 이별에 필요한 or 이별에 필요한. Play on word there. So this new film sort of feels like a turning point. Like, is Korean animation finally getting the global attention that it deserves? Because I mean, if you talk about like animation,
a lot of work is put into
it's
it.
Hollywood, it's like US or Japan.
Yeah.
Right? It's always been big. Korea, I think, is now starting to like rise up now.
Yeah. So, I do think it is getting the attention it deserves. And, not just because of Lost in Starlight. There's also this unexpected hit called King of Kings, which recently shocked a lot of people in North America. It's a completely Korean-produced animation that debuted last month. And guess what? It hit number 2 at the U.S. box office.
Yeah. It's a biblical animation, right?
Yes.
I heard about this, and I was like, wow, it went up so high in the box offices. And this is also, I believe, Korean produced.
Yes, so it's by Mopek Studio, which is known for doing visual effects for big Korean blockbusters. They apparently spent 10 years planning, writing, and producing King of Kings. And when it opened in North America on April 11th, it screened in over 3,200 theaters, and in just 4 days, it made $21 million. The release then expanded to 3,500 theaters in its second week, and it's it did amazing.
Let's talk about what this film is all about.
Well, as you just mentioned, it is a biblical story. It's a fantasy animation inspired by Charles Dickens' The Life of Our Lord, a retelling of Jesus' life. And the project was led by Jang Song-ho, the CEO of Mopek. He wrote, directed, and produced the film himself despite years of people saying Korean animation will never make it, and he proved them wrong.
I mean, number 2 on the box office is
Yeah.
pretty good. I'm not so religious anymore, but like biblical films and biblical animations are pretty like it's interesting. It's a good watch. It really is a good watch. I don't know if even till this day, if you told me to sit down and watch 10 Commandments, I'll still watch it. It's a good one.
I remember watching like The King of Egypt, was it?
Yes,
That's
on,
an animation.
on Moses, right?
Yeah.
That's a very good movie. I
Yeah.
watched that too.
Yeah. And, this film was really big because, like, according to Box Office Mojo, by April 28th, just 17 days after its release, King of Kings had grossed over $55 million, which is around 78 billion Korean won. And, to put that into perspective, that actually surpassed Parasite as the highest grossing Korean movie in North America.
Get out of here. Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah, I am serious. That really surprised me.
What? Okay. It is very surprising.
Yeah.
But why do you think it did so well, though?
Well, as you mentioned, biblical stories do well. They're, family friendly. But it's, I can't say this is the sole reason, but it's absolutely contributed. The movie cast famous actors to voice the main characters. So the voice cast includes Kenneth Branagh, Uma Thurman, Ben Kingsley, Forrest Whitaker, Pierce Brosnan, and Oscar
What?
Isaac. They are all big Hollywood names you have heard of.
James Bond.
Yes.
James Bond. My favorite James
Pierce Brosnan.
Bond is in this. I mean,
Yes.
wow. This is Forrest Whitaker too. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
cool voice.
Yeah, the studio wanted to ensure mainstream appeal, so they collaborated with a voice director who worked with Disney for 16 years. And for the Korean release this summer, major domestic actors will also be dubbing the characters, so we have that to look forward to as well.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, when people were doubting him with this movie, King of Kings, I mean, it wasn't wrong in that Korean animation did struggle,
Yeah.
like for a really long time.
Because, Korean animation, they didn't really make the films or produce the independent films. They usually did work for other studios, big studios. But despite Korea being one of the top 6 film markets in the world, Korean animated films also hadn't historically done well. Even domestically, only 3 animation films have ever crossed the 1 million viewer mark. Leafy a Hen into the Wild, 마당을 낳은 암탉, 전박이 한반도의 공룡, The Dino King in 3D, and 사랑의 하츄핑. These 3 are the only that actually did well, and they did well because they were popular among children.
Yeah.
So you can guess, a lot of adults weren't watching Korean animation.
These are none that I watched, and none that I watched. I watched all the the Baby Shark and the Pororo stuff.
Not even 하츄핑?
I'm not gonna sit there watching Hachuping.
Oh, yeah, your son is a little above the age, right?
Well, I mean, at that time there was a teeny ping craze, and
Yeah.
I think I said this before. He liked donut ping, and then kept on saying "아빠 배고파요 donut," like
Yeah.
weird stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's not approachable by the adults. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
but for me, if you're my age, you might remember Leafy, A Hen into the Wild, 마당을 낳은 암탉. It came out in 2011 based on a children's book by Hwang Sun-mi, and it tells the story of a hen named Ipsak who escapes her confined life in a chicken coop, and she ends up adopting and raising a baby duck named Chorok. And the film is about their search for freedom together. People around my age absolutely know this film because schools were showing it. And I remember the original ending being actually quite shocking for a kids movie, but yeah, it was very famous.
Man, now you're making me want to watch it now. If you say
Maybe you
it
should
like
try.
That. Oh,
yeah,
man.
and the OST of the film was also unforgettable. Famous lyricist Kimina wrote the lyrics,
What?
and the in-film version was actually sung by IU.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was actually a big deal in South Korea.
No, I mean that's big name. Kimina, I'm sure you guys know who Kimina is. IU, I mean,
yeah.
it's world class now. So what's changing now for Korean animation though?
Well, a few things. First, platforms, big streaming platforms are investing in Korean animation, but more importantly, Korean animators are now telling, more emotionally universal stories, without trying to copy big studios like Disney, Pixar, or even Japanese studios. They are actually trying to do what Korea does best, layer storytelling, strong aesthetics. And I think, really going in for that is actually more appealing to a wider global audience.
Yeah, and I guess Lost in Starlight and King of Kings, the two animated films that we just talked about, these are part of this new wave.
Exactly. And, Lost in Starlight especially represents this shift because, it's, very emotionally driven. It's the visual, as you mentioned, is very Korean. It's unmistakably Korean. So, yes, I think it is definitely a part of the new wave.
And a quick reminder for all of our listeners out there, Lost in Starlight, when is it going to drop?
Tomorrow, on May 30th, both the film and its OST will be released. So we have that to look forward to.
There you go. Angela, before I let you go, you choose the songs
Yes.
for our tidbit. And this next song, Lee Ji-soo, Melody of the Wind, 바람의 멜로디. And this is a song by An Ji-young of Port 4.
No, it isn't. It's a same name, different person.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. Tell us, why'd you choose this song?
Because it is the original soundtrack from Leafy and Hen Into the Wild or 마당을 나온 암탉.
All right, there you have it. Angela, thank you very much. We'll see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Yes.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Oh, you look very joyous. You look very happy today. What is our random tidbit of the day?
Well, actually, you have a son.
I do?
Did he ever have like a dinosaur face?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good.
He taught himself, he was so into dinosaurs that he taught himself hunger through dinosaurs.
Oh, really?
I bought him a dinosaur encyclopedia, and then it had all the words, right? So
Yeah.
like Tyrannosaurus. So he was like, oh, this is T.
Oh, so
Now-
that's how you learned the language.
We didn't teach him Korean. He taught it himself.
Wow.
And then that phase went out, and he's just like, I never liked dinosaurs.
Like when kids like dinosaurs, it's always the parents that become the experts.
It's true, you have to be.
Let's test your dinosaur.
All right,
knowledge.
let's do this. Let's do this. What's my dinosaur quiz? Oh my god, we just talked about how exams are terrible. But what's my dinosaur quiz?
I don't know. Like, can you name 5 dinosaurs?
Oh yeah, of course I can.
Oh, really?
How about this? I have a quiz for you. What's a bigger dinosaur? Tyrannosaurus Rex
Okay.
or Spinosaurus?
I feel like this is like a trick question, but T-Rex?
Nope. Everyone thought it was T-Rex first, but Spinosaurus is actually bigger, it turns out. So of the 5, Spinosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Triceratops, Pterodactyl, Ankylosaur, Velociraptor.
Yeah, Velociraptor. I know that because like my knowledge of dinosaurs,
Park?
yeah, is limited to Jurassic Park. I know nothing about dinosaurs. Yeah, but like today's tidbit is you got it, dinosaurs.
Okay.
Because this weekend Daejeon is going full on dino mode.
I went.
You went to
I went
this?
before. We went all the way to Daejeon because my son loved dinosaurs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I actually know
So
about this.
glad.
All right, let's talk about
Yeah,
this.
so Daejeon this weekend is having the National Science Museum is hosting a massive event for International Dinosaur Day, which is on June 1st, and the event is called 공룡 덕후 박람회 in Korean, which can be roughly translated to Dinosaur Enthusiast Expo.
Enthusiast is an interesting word.
Yeah,
Toku is like you're really like
into it.
you're really
Yeah.
really into
Yeah.
it. Okay, so now I went to this, but I did not know that International Dinosaur Day is a thing.
It is. So
Okay.
it's celebrated on June 1st. Did some research to find the exact origin, but it seemed a bit unclear. Like some scientists said, let's make June 1st Dinosaur Day, and then it just sort of caught on between the fans of it. But like South Korea has totally embraced International Dinosaur Day, as we can see with the expo.
All right, so let's talk about. I mean, this is a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
Daejeon is not so far away from Seoul.
Exactly.
Like 2
2
2.5
hours.
hours,
Yeah.
depending on traffic. And so it's good to go. And when your kids love dinosaur, it is a must visit. And it's actually fun for the parents as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what kind of stuff you can see or do when you get to the expo.
So I prepared a poster so people can take a look at that while we discuss it. It's very vintage.
Did like North Korea design the
No,
poster
they
or
made
something?
it like they intentionally made it look like 80s. Like it has all the Indiana Jones vibe and, very...
Yeah, except it's not Indiana Jones.
Exactly.
It's like some Korean guy.
Anyways, the Dinosaur Enthusiast Expo runs for 2 days this year, May 31st and June 1st at the National Science Museum in Daejeon. They have got costume parades where visitors can dress up as dinosaurs, birds, aliens, you name it.
Why aliens?
I don't know, I guess because, dinosaurs, there are like some stories that dinosaurs are from outer space. So.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
And people can even rent dinosaur costumes if they want to. And the first 100 costume guests each day will even get a special gift.
I have at home a dinosaur costume that actually turns into something massive. It runs on a fan.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So it blows up,
yeah.
right? And so I think it's maybe about like 5 meters high, maybe. It's pretty big. So when my son was really into dinosaurs, sometimes like I'll surprise him and stuff like that. Like,
I wish I had told you in advance and made you like
bring it. Honestly, I don't know where it is.
Wear it today.
Honestly,
yeah.
I don't know where it is. So what if you're not a dressing up kind of a person?
Well, there are other events, and I thought this event that's being hosted this year is very fun and timely. They're holding a dinosaur presidential election called 공통령 선거. Visitors can vote for their favorite dinosaur species to become the first ever president of the dinosaurs. And the voting is real, and the results are also revealed in a live count on June 1st at 4 p.m. So, yeah, I think it'll be a really fun way to get everyone involved.
I don't know. I feel like Tyrannosaurus Rex would be kind of up there.
Yeah, because, everyone knows T-Rex.
Yeah. And then there'll be maybe a Triceratops.
What's that dinosaur, like goes on all 4 feet and has the ridges on the back?
Ridges on the back?
Like it.
Oh, Stegosaurus?
Like it looks like this.
Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus. I always like this one when I was.
Oh, it's a nice one. It's a nice pick. Brontosaurus is a Brontosaurus, which is the long neck.
Oh yeah, that one's also.
When you want to pick a president, you want one that's number one, only eats vegetables. Because you don't want to be eating other dinosaurs and things like that. And he's a tall fella. It's a tall fella. What else can you enjoy there?
Still a lot. There's the Dino Hall Invitational Exhibition, which includes paleo art by Professor Takashi Oda and in like 3D dinosaur art.
Wow.
There's also a special photo exhibit hosted by the famous @dinosaurs meme page. So. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, and the best thing here is that there are hands-on stuff for kids.
Yes. Have you tried it?
I have.
Oh.
I really got into it. I must have visited like all the dinosaur museums. I even went down to Gosang.
I was going to talk about that.
Oh, we're talking about that. But yeah, I mean, I've done stuff. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, there is a full-on dino workshop with paleontologist Lee Sung-jin where kids can make terrariums, dino-themed mood lights, echo bags, clay figures, and, for something more theatrical, kids can also go watch a dinosaur musical called 원더의 공룡 데모, Wonder's Dino Adventure, which is also running twice each day. So parents will have something to do while their kids are watching dinosaurs.
Dinosaur musical?
Maybe they're wearing that 5-meter costume you talked about and running around on stage.
No, there's actually like much better costumes.
Oh.
Like it looks realistic.
Cool.
It's pretty cool stuff. But this again, if you have a kid or children who
Great
are
for
absolutely
families.
into dinosaurs, but also for parents, like it's fun stuff. I've been there.
Yes.
This is a great weekend for families.
Yeah, and also for science buffs too. On Saturday, there's a special lecture called Dinosaur Expeditions in Remote Lands, 오지에서의 공룡 탐사 by Professor Lee Young-nam. He is known as Korea's like 공룡 아빠, Dino Dad. So he's a very famous person. And there is also merch and food involved. There's a Jurassic cafe selling dino-themed snacks and drinks, and a full pop-up area store with dinosaur goods, toys, and even a flea market for secondhand dino treasures. So, if you're interested, go down to Daejeon this weekend.
All right, there you have it. Going into our song break here, Angela chose a song that was at one point my son's favorite song. only because it has dinosaur in it. This is Agnew with Dinosaur. All right, that was Agnew with Dinosaur. And if you're wondering why our producer decided to do a big close-up on our magic cushion, I thought at first he was trying to say Pretty Little SJ looks like a dinosaur, but He has the imagination of a 6-year-old, my son. He said it looks like dinosaur scale. The close-up, this looked like dinosaur scale, so that's why he did a close-up. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Although it's more fish scale. It's more fish. Dinosaur scales are more like octagonal. Yeah.
But like, would you know? No one has ever seen a real dinosaur.
What the science books tell you, what the pictures tell you, right? You're right. It's true. We don't know how it looks like. Anyways, we're going to be talking about this dinosaur expo that's happening this weekend, right?
Yes. And, like we mentioned, I was thinking about the dinosaur election. You said a T-Rex might win. Because
when the kids vote, kids are going to all vote T-Rex.
Really?
Like, they love T-Rex. They like ones that are fierce and they're supposed to be the strongest. Yeah. And so because like T-Rex is considered like the king of dinosaurs and stuff like that.
Yeah. But like there are underdogs like Korean native species.
The Koreasaurus.
Yes,
of course.
Oh God, your
I'm
dinosaur
telling you.
knowledge.
When you got a kid who loved dinosaur for like a year, you know everything.
Yes, the Koreanosaurus was discovered in Poseong in 2003 and officially named in 2011. It's a small herbivorous dinosaur from the late Cretaceous period.
Yeah.
I bet you knew that.
No, I didn't know this. It's just that it's being called Koreasaurus. It's kind of like.
Do you know there's another one named after Korea?
Koreaceratops, I think, with the horn, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Koreaceratops literally means Korean horn face. This specimen was found in a sandstone block that had been incorporated into a seawall. Oh my God, you're flying marks today, SJ. Yes.
If you drive by Hwasong, there's actually like signs that say that they've discovered it.
Oh, really?
Again.
Yeah, well then, yes, you did know Korea had a strong dinosaur connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, well then, did you know, like, which period it was so famous for?
That I don't know.
Okay. Finally. Yes. South Korea, the southern part of the Korean peninsula is full of fossil sites, especially from the late Cretaceous period. And the Cretaceous is a geological period that lasted from about 143.1 to 66 million years ago.
Wow.
Very long time ago.
Like, can you imagine that? Like, we talk about, like, 50 years ago being a long time ago, but, like, millions. Oh, my goodness.
Can you name all the geological periods?
I cannot. I mean, the Jurassic era is, like, the most famous, right? The Cretaceous, and then there's the, oh, my goodness.
The Triassic.
I can't name any of them.
Like, when I was young, my mom told me I did have a brief dinosaur period. And
everyone does, yeah.
Apparently there was this, like, song, like, that made you memorize all the geological periods.
I think I remember.
Do you remember
that. No, I think that I remember that.
Triassic, Jurassic, like there was this song. I don't remember the lyrics, but I remember the But like Korea has a lot of dinosaur evidence. There are footprints, there are dinosaur eggs, there are fossils, and some of the most significant finds were made in places like Haenam, Hwasun, and Goseong. So a lot of them are in South Jeollado province.
Yeah. So again, I know we're going to talk about it later on, but I haven't been to Haenam. This was quite a surprise. But again, Korea was dino central as well. I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, when you talk about millions and millions and hundreds of millions of years ago, when you had dinosaurs roaming around the world, Korea would be one of those places too.
But in fact, scientists believe that while dinosaurs were declining elsewhere in the world during the late Cretaceous, the Korean peninsula was maybe like one of the only places that dinosaurs were still like thriving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
must have been the kimchi.
It was because the environment was perfect. Yes, there were a lot of lakes for drinking water, lots of like ferns for food, and a wide variety of animals and plants to support a healthy ecosystem. So South Korea known for the dinos.
Oh, that's pretty cool though.
Yes.
I mean, it also like really shows how significant Korea is in like paleontology, right?
Yes, and as we mentioned, as we keep on mentioning Haenam, like Haenam has the world's longest and most numerous pterosaur footprint trackway. Over 400 prints in one place are there, and even better, you can see like dinosaur, like birds, like pterosaur tracks all in the same sediment layer, which is super rare globally. I remember seeing this in like textbooks when I was in school.
So if you go to Hwasong, you could also, there's an area where you can see footprints.
Yes.
Where we saw it, our family saw it, was down in Goseong. And so we're going to talk about the famous dinosaur museum down in Gosong,
yes.
right?
So like there is a dinosaur museum in Gosong, which is like located in a renowned world's largest dinosaur footprint fossil site. Visitors can see genuine egg fossils of Oviraptor and Protoceratops, as well as dinosaur models. I hope I got those names right.
Oviraptor, yeah.
Oviraptor.
Protoceratops. Protoceratops.
Protoceratops.
Yeah.
And there is also another dinosaur museum down in Haenam. If people are up for a longer trip from Seoul, they can visit the Haenam Dinosaur Museum. As I mentioned, it's a very rich site for dinosaur enthusiasts. So visiting the museum will get you a chance to see fossils really up close.
Yeah, so I have a story with the Gosong Dinosaur Museum where I really thought our family gonna go bankrupt. My little son, 3-year-old, kids, when you turn around, they disappear. And next thing you know, I see him going under something, a little barricade, and into where they had a dinosaur fossil. And he started touching everything.
Oh my God.
And I had to pull him up. I was like, no, no.
You saw your light flashing by your eyes.
Oh my goodness. But I still, till this day, I remember, like, I've never seen his eyes just kind of like glitter away because he was so amazed by all these dinosaurs.
It is. I remember seeing a dinosaur fossil for the first time in New York when I was really young. It was like super high, like almost
The
3
Natural
stories.
Museum,
Yes,
yeah.
almost 3 stories high. So it is very cool, especially for children.
Again, kids always go
Yeah.
through the dinosaur period.
Yeah, so visit the expo if you have time this weekend.
I had a dinosaur period. That's when the Power Rangers were dinosaurs. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? The
Yeah, I
original
do
Bionic
remember
dinosaurs? My favorite was the Black Ranger. And he was the master. That's a weak dinosaur. Anyways, interesting song choice here, Angela. BTS with DNA. Why?
You know how I earlier said my knowledge of dinosaurs is limited to Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Well, here's to fossils, genetics, science, possibility of seeing dinosaurs again.
Very nice. Very nice. It's a good movie. Still, you can watch it.
Yes.
Angela, thank you very much for all of these tidbits. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you again tomorrow on Monday.
Yes, see you on Monday.
This is BTS with DNA.